That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild, strawberry ice bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door. Step into the lane where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trenopole, and as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. Shout out to.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House. Hey guys, what's going on? We're back at it for year 2 of our tailgate at the Moorline Lager House. This year, Best Day Brewing Game Day Experience. We are there 3 hours before every single Bengals home game. We got a DJ there. We got a buffet. We got a Bloody Mary bar. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join us. We're going to be giving prizes. I'll be hosting. I'm telling you, it's the best deal on the bank. $50. All inclusive. Food, drink, Bloody Marys. I'm going to be giving away prizes. Bengals trivia. We have music there. That's not good enough? Well, guess what? Your boys got you. I'm going to take care of you. All right. Use this code, GameDay10, GAMEDAY 10, to get $10 off your ticket. So it went from $50 to $40. Come on. You can't beat it. It's the best deal on the banks. Join me. Wear orange. We're going to root the Bengals on to the Super Bowl. Get there early. Moorline Lager House. Best Day Brewing Game Day Experience.
It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. I hope to see you guys down there for our second year of doing the tailgate down at the Moorline Lager House. We had a great time last night at the Moorline Lager House for the Joe Burrow Dine for 9. Terry Nelson was down there. Jim Breach was down there. Joe Forsing was down there. Had a pretty good crowd down there. If you guys missed it, you missed a really good time. Hopefully next time we do a live show down there, you guys will be able to join us, but come down for the tailgate. It's going to be a great, great time. What is up to everybody in the chat? We got, let's see here, Brad's in there first, Stranger, Tony Blaze, and Juwan, T-Bone, Natty Ron, John, and Natty Ron's in there again. What is up? I am ready for this Sunday, baby, for the Bengals to go 2-0. We have a very special guest today. As long as he turns his camera on, then I can actually introduce him. He was going to go change his clothes. There he is. Now I see his pretty little face. He is from Raleigh, Ron and Natty. He is the one. He is the only. He is Centaury Myles. What's up, Centaury?
What's up, Buttercup?
Not much, man. I like you got the orange on it. You got the right color. That's good. That's good. I'm ready for Sunday. I'm so excited and happy that we got out of week 1 with a win. I've said this before. I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day. Bring on Jacksonville. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'll always take a win. I'm not going to apologize for winning. I don't care how ugly it is. A win's a win. And at the end of the season, if they have 10 or 11 and that gets them in, I really don't care how they came. I just want to get the wins.
Exactly. And that's the thing that kind of cracked me up with some of Bengals Twitter. They're upset that we won the way we did because, I mean, let's be honest, the offense looked pretty good the first half. Second half looked awful. But that's the way our offense starts. I mean, the first 2 weeks are hard. Now, with that being said, rolling into not into Jacksonville coming into here, what's your anticipation? How do you anticipate this game going?
Ugly again. And that could be completely wrong because last year at this time, if you remember, we were coming off of a remarkably embarrassing loss to the Patriots.
Yep.
And then looked fantastic against Kansas City.
Yep.
The NFL is week to week. And I hope that if anybody gets anything from this show, it does not matter how you played last week. It does not matter who you play next week. It does not matter who you play next week and who they played the previous weeks. None of it matters. This may be the nerdiest thing that you're going to hear from my mouth, but it's something my father taught me, and it's so true. The laws of transitivity do not apply to sports. Just because A better than B doesn't mean B is better than C, doesn't mean that A is now better than C. It doesn't work that way. It's any given Sunday for a reason, and it is what it is. So every week's a new week for every single team. Are there trends? Are there data? Sure. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. We're here to play ball, and if we could tell you what was going to happen before it was going to happen, we wouldn't play it.
What would be the fun in that then? Exactly. So what was your thoughts on the defense? I know we talked about that ad nauseum, the way it looked in preseason. The 3 games looked terrible. I said this from what I saw of the defense when I went down to practice. I thought it looked better than it did in the preseason games. Now, Sunday, it looked better than it did in the preseason games. And to me, if that's your baseline, it should go up from there. I mean, Shamar Stewart, I know, didn't have a lot of stat line, but he did make an impact. Trey Henderson got a sack. B.J. Hill got a sack. I think T.J. Slayton looked pretty good in the run game. Overall, I thought the defense looked pretty good.
Yeah, so I want everybody to think back to how we were just ready to burn this thing down during preseason with the defense.
Right.
And I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was somebody that actually goes back and watches tape a lot.
A tape grinder.
Said that the defense was just coming out and cover 2 high shells and base cover 3 the entire time of preseason and wasn't doing anything.
Who said that?
I don't know. Maybe it was me. Put on the tape and watch the preseason games versus last week and tell me they weren't running a completely different defense. I don't know how many blitzes from corners and linebackers and safeties I saw. I can tell you I saw at least 2 different blitzes from Logan Wilson. I saw at least 1 blitz from Dax Hill. I saw at least 1 blitz from Geno Stone. It wasn't like super blitz heavy. There were stunts up front. I saw one where Logan Wilson was lined up in an A gap and then looped around to the opposite C gap with 2 stunts underneath it. They were getting creative, not enough in my opinion, but it's week 1. You know, a lot of it is still, okay, now we're going to roll our stuff out. Let's see how the guys play within the system.
Yeah, you can't do it all the first game. You got to do it in stages.
Right, and you never know how things are going to fly, you know, when live bullets are going. You know, if you ask most coaches, you know, the season is kind of broken out into thirds. You have like your first 5 games, the next 5 games, the next 5. And then if you're lucky enough to survive beyond then, you have adjustment to adjustment to adjustment to adjustment.
Right.
What you've seen week 1, which is vastly different than what you saw in preseason, the defense, hopefully, as it should, is going to look very different 10 weeks from now.
Yes.
This is just how the league evolves. I thought they looked significantly better than preseason. I don't think anybody would argue that.
Right.
I still think there were a couple of miscommunications. I think people are still getting used to where certain zone coverages need to be and how wide certain stances and things need to be. And all of that is correctable with what happens on tape and how people attack different things. The good news is they're still in the learning stages and held what is traditionally a very good run game down to next to nothing.
Usually they usually gash us. I mean, Cleveland has ran all over us in the past, and now they don't have Nick Chubb. They don't have a big running back, but they still have a pretty good offensive line. So, and to me, that was one of the things that was making me nervous in the preseason, watch these big gaping holes that they're punching through our defensive line, and you and me could run through them during preseason. but that wasn't there on Sunday. I mean, I think TJ Slayton showed why the Bengals went out and got him.
Yeah, that wasn't there. Receivers running wide open 20 yards downfield. That wasn't there. The Bengals had a game plan going into that, which was we're going to stop the run. We're going to tape away any deep shots, and we're going to make Flacco put together 15 and 16 play drives. And at the end of the day, the Browns aren't consistent enough to be able to do that. You're going to have holding penalties. You're going to have batted passes and tip balls. You know, when you run that kind of a defense that's looking for opportunity, they're going to make them use every ounce of every yard that is on the field, every inch of the entire field, and they're going to make you go first down, second down, third down every single time. You're probably going to give up higher third down rate conversions. You might not always get a bunch of sacks because it's not going to be a ultra aggressive approach. But what you're going to find is the team is going to eat up a little bit of the time of possession more than you would like, but you're going to hold the point total down.
Right.
And I think we can all agree the more times that you hold teams to under 20 points with Joe Burrow at the helm, you're probably going to win.
Now, from everything you said there, and I keep saying it reminds me of the 2021 defense.
Yes.
You kept saying the bend but don't break defense, but it was more of, you know, they have long sustaining drives, but they come out of with no points. And that's what we saw a lot of yesterday. And that was a formula that took us to the Super Bowl in 2021. So I like what I'm hearing from you, and I like what I saw on Sunday.
Yeah, there's two things that happen with that defense, right? The first is what we just talked about, which is where you're going to be on the field a lot as a defense because you're going to force teams to go 12 and 15 plays, right? But the branch off where the two avenues are is either the team is going to most likely screw up, and if you're constantly putting everything in front of you and then there's a holding penalty, God forbid, on a 2nd and 8 or a 3rd and 8, they're kind of screwed, right? Because they're just not going to have the windows to push the ball 15 and 20 yards downfield. Where if you have a more aggressive defense, you're taking somebody out of coverage to blitz, that opportunity might be there. So that's kind of what they're relying on. The other avenue that can happen is it takes a really, really, really smart, patient, and non-egotistical offensive coordinator to constantly be okay trying to percolate their way downfield for 12 to 15 plays in a drive. Eventually, everybody, it's in human nature, gets greedy and wants to take the shot.
Make that shot, exactly.
That's when it's going to be a problem. You're not going to be able to take the shot. You're not going to be able to have a mistake. And for as much as people were bitching about the Bengals played well enough to put the Browns in positions that they couldn't mess up. And when the Browns messed up, it was enough.
Yeah.
That's it. The Bengals played, with the exception of how awful the offense was in the second half.
Yeah.
There weren't a whole lot of mistakes.
No.
I keep seeing Browns fans saying things like, oh, how did we lose this game? Well, you lost the turnover battle, you lost the penalty battle, and you lost the special teams battle. I don't know about you, but that's like half the game that you
pretty much. pretty much, yeah.
And you lost by a point, and you gave Joe Burrow, well, there was a turnover on downs too.
Yes.
And a missed field goal.
And extra point.
Well, we're going to go with those 4 because the extra point was still a drive that related to points, right? So you've got 2 interceptions, a turnover on downs, and a missed field goal. You gave Joe Burrow the ball back 4 extra times in that game, and you lost by a point. That's on you, man. You can't give Joe Burrow 4 extra opportunities. That was one of the worst games Joe Burrow's ever played.
It was terrible. It was not a good game at all.
And you still lost.
Yeah.
There's a maxim that we used to say in coaching, which was, if you're not playing great and you're still finding ways to win games, it's a damn good sign.
Yes. And that's the Centaury. That's what happened a lot last year, where we did not win those games last year.
Correct.
There were, I mean, how many times did we score over 30 points and lost? How many times were there the 1 or 2 score game that we lost? Last year, we lost this game. This was the New England game.
It comes down to last year, they dropped those 2 interceptions. And they leave the teams on the field.
And the 2 touchdowns. Well, the Gesicki didn't count, and then the Tanner Hudson one. Those 2 didn't count.
It's all they did in that game versus last year was play a touch cleaner. And that's really all it's going to take. This is the NFL. All the games, almost all of them, even the incredible Sunday night football Ravens-Bills games are separated by this much of a razor-thin margin.
Mm-hmm.
It's the team that makes the least amount of mistakes that wins,
Yep.
and it's the team that stays the healthiest that lasts the longest. Getting to the Super Bowl is not a matter of skill. It's a little bit of that, but you're in the NFL. They're all talented. The way you win in the NFL, one is staying healthy, and two is just being clean about your mistakes.
Don't make mistakes. Yes. Mistake-free football. How many times have we heard that over and over again? And how many times did we hear about the mistakes that our defense made last year? I mean, what we're talking about here is we're not talking about any mistakes that the defense made. We're talking about the mistakes that the offense made in the second half, because that's clearly what was going on here. Because I mean, the defense did not let them. If I remember right, the Browns did not score in the second half. If I'm correct, pretty sure I'm around that. Right? They didn't score in the second half.
I don't believe so.
I don't think they did. I'm sure the chat will tell me if I'm wrong. But that comes to the defense there, and that's where they played mistake-free football. Now our offense, if they would have
they scored in the second half, that's when they missed the extra point.
Okay, they did. All right. Well, they still played mistake-free football more than the offense did, because if the offense didn't, if they did play mistake-free football, we would have scored more, because there's no way the Browns are going to keep us off the scoreboard. Either way, the point to this whole thing is they made the plays when they had to, and that's what wins football games, and that's what we didn't do at the beginning and most of the year last year until we went on the 5-game winning streak. So that encourages me onto moving forward. And Centaury, I've said this, as long as we are 500 or better going into November, I will take that, because normally Zach Taylor and the Bengals start rolling when we get into November and December, and then rolling into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is all good signs.
I'm okay. I'm okay playing ugly if you win.
Yeah, I don't want. I don't want to play ugly all the time. I do want to play to our capability, but I'll take an ugly win.
Here's the easy question: would you rather be us right now or Baltimore after 1 week?
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
Us.
Yes,
because we have the win.
Right, and that's all that matters. And
would I rather have our makeup or Baltimore's makeup right now? I don't know. I mean, they look pretty explosive. Yeah. But in terms of the result, yeah, give me the win. Yeah, 10 times out of 10, give me the win.
Now, question for you, because I know you and Greg, and we're out at Graders having this discussion about Shamar Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
And we got, what was the $10 bet that he gets, 7 sacks? Is that?
Yeah, I think the over-under was like 6.5 or 7.
All right. So he didn't have a big stat line yesterday, but he did make an impact. He had 2 tip passes, got pressure on the quarterback. For you, as his first NFL game, and he is a developmental player. I mean, his baseline is here, but athletically, now you might think I'm crazy. Athletically, I think he is athletically a freak as Myles Garrett. I'm not saying he is Myles Garrett. I'm just saying athletically, he's got that kind of makeup. What's your thoughts on what he did yesterday?
I would say he's like 80% of Myles Garrett, and that's still significantly better than most.
Yeah, I'll take that.
In terms of an athetic profile, I want to make sure we stop with it right there.
I wouldn't say he was Myles Garrett, but he's pretty damn close. Go ahead.
There's a lot to like. There's a lot of stuff that the defensive line does that oftentimes does not show up on a stat sheet. Another maxim I learned when I was coaching is the eye in the sky does not lie, right? And that just means the tape tells the truth.
Right.
He was very disruptive. He had a lot of plays where he was getting guys pushed back. He had a couple times where he got a hand in there, batted a ball down once. He took on some hide blocks, land blocks, trap blocks, whatever you want to call them, and blew up the blockers coming across his face. One of the big concerns that I had with him that I saw in the preseason is that he was too aggressive and getting too far upfield on run plays. That was not an issue at all in this game. So whatever the problem was there has quickly been fixed. I think he's got a bright future. I do. I don't know if he's going to get 7 sacks or not. That's going to come with playing time.
I hope he does.
I hope he has 100 sacks. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not rooting against the guy.
Centaury will give up the $10 to get.
Sure, I'll give Greg $100 if he gets 10 sacks. I'll put that out there right now. But just for some of the data, because there's a lot of data, there's a lot of numbers out there, and I want to reflect on some of it here.
All right, go for it.
Because I've got Pro Football Focus pulled up on my screen, because I am one of the soulless people that pays like $200 a year to have.
You want to share it to my screen? I can bring.
All you're going to see is a bunch of really small numbers on an Excel spreadsheet. If you want to look at the Matrix, go for it, because that's what it's going to look like.
I'll be looking at it going, what the hell is that? Anyway, you talk. What are you looking at here?
All right, so I'm getting another filter pulled up here. Let me get this sorted properly.
And by the way, full disclosure, it was your video that Dale got blown up on which he said that Monday. It was Centaury's video because I just used it of him ragged on DeJuan Jones.
Yeah, that was my clip that I sent him. I sent it to a group chat I'm in at like 9 a.m. I'm laying in bed clipping up film, and I'm getting to that goal line stand on the first drive. I'm still getting it pulled up here. My internet's being fantastic. And, I just see him grab him and toss him. And I went, whoa, hold on. Because I'm in the zoomed out view.
Right.
And I dial in and I watch it. And I just kind of started laughing. I was like, man, that's funny. I was like, that's DeJuan. He just tossed him, man.
Threw him at the club.
So if you look at the video that had its little viral moment, it's zoomed in and it's fuzzy because that's just me zooming in on my iPhone. And I sent it and Dale was like, damn. And Dale was awesome. He put it out there. He tagged me in it. And then a bunch of people stole it and didn't tag me in it. Right, exactly. And then Dale felt like shit, and it wasn't his fault because he did what he was supposed to do. And
everybody's supposed to tag you in it and say, hey, this is from Centaury. He did this.
All right. So I've got this down to what's considered a 20% filter, meaning the maximum amount of pass rush snaps from a player that happened in week 1 was 53 pass rush snaps. Okay, and that was, for reference, Max Crosby had the most pass rush snaps of everybody. He's 53, so he's the 100th percentile.
Okay.
20% of that comes out to like 10, 11 snaps. So anybody with a minimum of 10 snaps qualifies for this number.
Okay.
One of the numbers we look at is win rate. Okay, how often did you win your pass rush snap? Doesn't mean you got to pressure. Joe Flacco gets it and rips it. You're probably not going to get a pressure in less than 2 seconds, but you still may have beat your block, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So win rate's really important. For reference, Joshua Uche was number 1 in the NFL at 43.8% on 18 pass rush snaps. That's a ridiculously high number.
Right.
For opposite reference, for all of last year, I believe Trey was like in the top of everybody.
Okay.
As long as my computer wants to load again. And it was like 35%. Shamar Stewart was 25%, which I believe put him in the top 20 in all of the NFL out of like 90 people.
That works.
And he was at 26.7% pass rush win rate. Oh, here's the snaps from last year. It finally populated. The leader last year was 38%, and that was Aiden Hutchinson.
And he didn't even finish the season.
Yeah. Last year, Trey Hendrickson, amazing season, right?
Right.
For the year, Trey was at 20% for reference.
Wow.
Stewart was at 26.7%. And Myles Garrett was at 28%.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just one game.
Those are good numbers.
It's such a very small sample size, but for one game, that is a really, really damn good number.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of pass rush grade, he was a 78.2. A 60 is considered average, 80 is considered like really good, 90 is considered elite. Trey Hendrickson was a 90. Shamar Stewart was a 78.2. Myles Garrett was a 78.9. They ranked 14th and 10th, respectively, out of 99 players.
So Shamar had a pretty good game for his first game in the NFL.
Yeah, he was disruptive. The tape looked good. You don't always show up on the stat sheet, but the tape looked good. Now, for reference, the stat sheet, he did have 3 pressures, considering he only played 25 snaps. That's great. Trey had 8 on 40, so it's just about the same pace. It's a little bit behind.
Now, can you tell me, and I didn't pay attention to this, Did they move Shamar around, or was he mostly just outside? Did he ever
They moved him a little bit. A lot of what would happen is, we know what a 4-man front looks like, right? When he's in a defensive end on a 4-man front, he's on, let's say he's a 6 technique, whatever it ends up being, right?
Right.
And they did this a lot, they would rock down into like a 43 over, which is essentially a 52 or a 34, depending on really how you want to break it down and look at it. When they did that, they would move him inside a little bit. The thing that was interesting is they bumped Trey around. They didn't just leave Trey on the one side.
That was surprising to me. I mean, they didn't move him a lot. I noticed that more, and I noticed Shamar.
And Trey got pressure on the other side, which means if I've got both of them interchangeable, being able to get pressure on both sides, or God forbid, if you absolutely have to have Myles Murphy in right now, who played better than what his stat line shows. Yeah. The tape was adequate on him, especially in run support, mind you.
Yeah, Al Golden even gave him a shout out in his press conference too.
Yeah, his run support was good. He was doing a lot of the dirty work, but the more you're able to move guys around, and I know that's something Al Golden likes to do, the more flexibility you have to get your best 11 on the field in different situations.
Well, you have a better way to do the matchups too.
My favorite thing was seeing Trey on the other side, because all I've heard for the last 3 years is he can only rush from the left defensive end.
Right.
Well, I saw him at right on a handful of snaps.
Well, the thing is, what you hope to do is do what the Browns did to the Bengals. They have Myles Garrett swoop around and go around the middle. He drilled Joe Burrow. That's what you hope, moving people around for the Bengals. That could cause that for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing, that because you get the best matchups. It's just like in offense, you want to get the best matchup. You would be able to move guys inside, outside, left to right to try to get the best matchup, stunts, things like that.
Yeah. So for reference, Trey played 10% of his snaps on the left side last week, which is, let's see, what was the number it actually came out to? He played between left outside linebacker and left end. He played 5 of 57. Okay. So 5 defensive snaps on the opposite side last week, which isn't a ton, but last year he played for the year 5.
For the year.
Year.
Wow.
And that was spread out over 18 games. Or my bad, 9. They moved him at linebacker once. So he played 50% of what he did last year in week 1.
In one game.
It's not a ton of flexibility, but if 10% of the time, I can rotate someone around even just 10%.
Right.
I don't think people realize how much 10% can be. If the Bengals were 10% better last year, they'd have won 14 games.
Exactly. That's how close it was. I mean, so all this is exciting to me. That's why I said
math. You guys are getting a math show today.
Are the Bengals building a top defense? Now, when I say a top defense, I mean, I don't think we're going to be like top 5, top 10. Do you think it's possible they could be top 15 at some point during this year, the way the talent that they have? Because, like I said, I've said this before, they got a lot of first and second round picks on this defense, and it's a proven thing. The Kansas City Chiefs, I hate to keep bringing them up, but they did this in 2022.
Well,
they won a whole bunch of young defensive players and won the Super Bowl.
How much weight do you put into Pro Football Focus? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Some people love it. Some people hate it.
I'm kind of hit or miss with them. They're okay, but I don't like. They're not the Bible.
Do you know where the Bengals rank in total defense for Pro Football Focus right now?
No clue.
For the year, they're second, which is just one game. But
really?
they are the number 2 right now.
Let's go. I always like Pro Football Focus. It's the Bible. I think we should always go use them.
They're currently 11th in points, but in terms of the team defensive grade, they're second in the NFL. Run defense, they are currently 4th in the NFL. Pass rush, they've got us at 3rd because there was a lot more going on tape than on the stat line.
Right, yeah, stat line, we had, 2.5 sacks, I think?
Mm-hmm. They've got us top 10 in coverage. They've got us top 10 in pass rush. Tackle grade, they've got us almost top 10 at 11.
Tackling was a lot better than anything I saw in preseason.
Yeah, so if you buy into PFF, yes, they're top 10. If you buy into the yards per game, which I haven't even looked at yards per game or any of those grades and stats yet, but we'll find it. Pardon my hiccups, but
here you look that up. I want to get Dustin's comment up here. Centaury, we had the lowest blitz rate from week 1. Yeah, which surprised me since Golden likes to blitz a lot. Do you think that changes?
Yep. So you got to remember with blitz rate, it's going to be based on when they bring more than 4 guys. They don't count simulated pressure. If Logan Wilson has a delayed blitz and they pull off Trey and it's still 4, they're not going to count that as a blitz. They're going to count that as a 4-man rush. So there are some semantics there. I don't know where that ranks with everybody else. I'd have to see if there's a simulated pressure rate.
Right.
You don't always have to blitz, and I don't think that they want to blitz in certain scenarios. You've got a quarterback that can't scramble. You had a quarterback that has a big arm. I think they kind of just wanted to keep everything in front of them on that one. It's going to be kind of a week-to-week thing. I do think that it's in Golden's DNA to want to blitz, and I do think he's going to have the personnel to do that. But they brought Dax Hill, they brought Geno Stone, they brought Logan Wilson a couple times. They ran these spy delays with Knight on 3 separate occasions. Mm-hmm. They ran, I think, 70 defensive snaps. I'm already up over 10%, which I know isn't the highest, but that's just off the top of my head. And those, some of them don't technically count as a blitz. It's kind of, it's odd, but that's the truth of it.
And by the way, go vote for Knight for defensive rookie of the week too on Pepsi Zero. Now, what you're just talking about, how Joe Flacco has a big arm, can't move. Lawrence coming in, has a pretty good arm, not a Joe Flacco arm, but that he can move. So you're basically going to the exact opposite. Not that he's going to run around like Lamar Jackson or anything, but he's younger and he can move. So how much do you think that changes from week to week?
I really think that it's going to be very similar to what we saw against Cleveland.
Really? Okay.
I've spent at least 2 hours watching the first quarter of Jacksonville's game last week already.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the same shit.
Okay.
It's a lot of inside runs. It's a lot of play actions. They run a metric ton of screens. I think I saw 6 screens in the first quarter. Like something ridiculous.
Yeah. Did we run a screen? I don't think the Bengals threw. Did we do a screen at all?
I think we tried one. It got blown up.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised. I didn't see more screens from us.
Jacksonville they're very much a new age version of West Coast, based from what I saw. They take occasional shots downfield. I mean, they do have Travis Hunter, they do have Brian Thomas. They've got some guys that can stretch the field. But they cut their teeth in the run game, screen game, play action. It's going to be a lot of underneath stuff.
Right.
The Bengals are going to have to come up and tackle. They are physical. I think they're going to take some shots downfield periodically, but their offense isn't anything ultra creative. It's a lot more in a vacuum. Get the ball to your guys quick and let them make some moves. Just break down the tackle is the best thing I can say.
Right.
In the first, I think, quarter and a half that I've really gotten through, Lawrence has only taken off and run once.
Okay.
And that was a lot of people getting out of their rush lanes.
Now, what was the breakdown for Travis Hunter as far as wide receiver to cornerback? Do you have that in front of you, or can you find that, or do you know that?
I don't remember the snap count. I know it was more heavily shifted toward receiver, and I think they said they have a different game plan this week. I think they're going to run him at corner more. That may be a week-to-week thing with them. Where's the best matchup?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's behoove us to put him in man somewhere, let's do it. I think what they saw was they run this odd concept that I was seeing. And we ran it to a degree when I coached too, but I really never liked it. Whenever there was a 3-receiver set, their safety number 7. Forgive me, I don't know all the players' names. I just watched the film.
I don't either. Go ahead.
Whoever number 7 is at safety, he's their strong safety who comes down and plays in the box when they really spread out on offense for the opposing team. I saw 3 separate occasions early on, and this is probably just part of their rules. So when we talk about defenses Sometimes they may be the same, but they all have little tweaks to them.
Right.
Whenever number 3 got vertical or went across the field, number 3 receiver. So if we're counting outside to in, furthest inside. Wherever the furthest inside receiver got vertical or like did a crosser, number 7 took him in man. I saw several times where it was a basic zone defense, but number 7 is cutting through everybody trying to follow these guys in man. I'm not saying that I'm the genius or anything, but if that's the rule, I'm putting Jamar Chase in the slot as the number 3 receiver, and I don't know who 7 is. He might be the greatest safety to ever play. I'm a little dumb when it comes to player personnel.
But I'll take a safety on Jamar Chase.
I'm more of a film guy, but I understand safety versus Jamar is not a great matchup.
Yeah, I'll take that. My dumb ass can't even understand that.
If you see Jamar running crosser routes against number 7, that's what happened.
Right.
Just put it out there now. Clip it if you have to. Come back to it. But that's one thing I've noticed is they run a remarkably similar defense to the Bengals.
Yeah.
4-man front. They rock down into that 50. They do like to bring a linebacker every once in a while. Nothing crazy. They're pretty physical. They hit hard. Their linebacker number 23 likes to blitz. They do bring him up the middle. 0 seems like a little bit of a thumper, whoever that is. This is where I need Dale. Who are all these?
Who are these guys?
Who are these guys?
Dale,
Where'd they go to college?
Dale,
And what were their high school splits? Like that's where I need Dale. I just know I saw 23 blitzing, I saw 0 blitzing, and I saw 7 taking guys in man in zone defense for whatever reason. So look for that stuff. It seemed very similar to what we ran.
That sounds. I mean, to me, it makes me more confident that it's kind of the same stuff that we saw this past week against the Browns that we're going to see it again against Jacksonville. I'm pretty confident that we're going to win this one. Start out 2-0, and if we do. Dude, who knows what's going to happen this year? I mean, it's getting off to a 2-0 start would be monstrous. I mean,
I had us starting off 2-0 and going 2-4. So don't.
Oh, really? You guys losing to
I had us losing 4 in a row.
Oh God!
Granted, this was before I watched Minnesota the first time, so now I'm not quite sure where I put them.
I got mine written down here. So let's see here. I got us 2-0. I got us losing to Minnesota.
Okay.
I got that, and these two could go back. I could switch both. I got them winning Denver because Denver's a primetime game, but you could flip those two.
Again, Bo Nix looked like shit in the first game.
Right. So
that's why but I can't use
know.
that because it's one game.
All right.
What do I have to go off of?
When I made this before the season even started. I'm going off the Bo Nix I saw at Paycor last year where he was going stride for stride with Joe Burrow. So
right.
That's why I was taking that. And then I got us beating Detroit because I just don't believe in
Detroit.
Maybe I don't know.
They've looked awful.
Right.
Like
they lost all they're both their coordinators. And so that's where I'm at. I mean, and we're all just guessing right now. It's week 1. We have no idea.
All I know is number 7 takes man. That's the only thing I'm confident in.
Number 7 takes man.
Who is we got to find out who 7 is.
Where's Dale at? Let's see. Dustin says, which is right. The Vikings defense is kind of scary, which it is, but I don't know if I believe in J.J. McCarthy. That's where I'm like, we'll see. I mean, he came back and won, and he looked good, so we'll see.
It's a tale of two halves with him. I don't really have much to consistently go for.
I love this name, Balancing Bike Life. Top defense. To be lucky to be decent, he says. Well, right now by PFF, they're ranked number 2 in the NFL in defense. So that take that.
Who is the safety?
I don't know.
Who is number 7? Hold on, we're getting there. We're getting the safety.
7. Please come out number 7.
It's not
number 7. Come on down. This is riveting podcast. You can just sit and stare.
I can't find it. I'm gonna look like an idiot. Now it says number 7 is Brian Thomas, so maybe I'm thinking of a different number. Whoever the free safety was that came down, maybe it was number 6. I don't fucking know. I'll have to go back and look at it again. Whoever the safety was that comes down in the box over the number 3 receiver takes him in man.
There you go. Dustin also says this: Jags have good fronts. Allen and Walker can disrupt stuff. What's your thoughts on those two?
Say it again. I'm typing.
Jags have a good front. Allen Walker can disrupt stuff.
Yeah, their front's physical. Like again, it kind of looked like ours the last week. They're plugs in the middle. I mean, you're going to have a tough time sledding. You really, really are. I mean, they not like they're not I hate saying they're not super athletic. They're in the NFL. I mean, they're not freaks. They're not like Shamar Stewart types, but they'll just shrug you off and keep plugging poles and moving piles. I mean, they're disruptive. They're problems.
Now, were you surprised about how Noah Fant, how much they went to Noah Fant in this offense? I mean, I personally wasn't because, well, I mean, I'll roll this back because you may have had this conversation years ago, how you kept saying that the Bengals don't use tight ends, and I kept telling you that they do. Now they run a 2 tight end set sometimes. So I wasn't exactly surprised of how much they went to him because to me he's their most complete tight end. But you got why were you surprised it clicked so well?
I wasn't necessarily surprised they used tight ends. I was surprised that they went with him in those scenarios instead of Gesicki. Now I understand that Gesicki is more of a glorified slot receiver as opposed to tight end,
right?
But normally, and this is where maybe I shouldn't be surprised, those kind of, play action naked bootlegs find the tight end in the flat, like that first play, right? Mm-hmm. That's what that was. That's typically been reserved for an Eric All or a Drew Sample. Well, that's why Fant is here. Yeah. Traditionally, Fant just hasn't done well lining up in line as a true Y. He's been a decent slot. He's done that. But I was surprised that that's kind of where they went with him that early right away. I mean, he's also only been here a few weeks.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. This is supposed to be a pretty damn creative offense. And granted, I'm sure the terminology for a dice rollout is not anything crazy. But I was surprised that it clicked that early, that quick.
And by the way, Michael Madden says that Brian Thomas.
I know. I'm missing a number then instead, but I just know the safety was coming down and taking the number 3 in man.
All right, let's talk about this offensive line because I've said this, especially when they signed Dalton Reisner. I mean, I did not think he should start this week or this past week, but with the injury, he obviously had to come in. How good do you think? I've said I think this is the best offensive line that Joe Burrow has had in his 6 years in the NFL for the Cincinnati Bengals. How good do you think they did yesterday, and how impressed were you with Dalton Reisner coming in here, only being in here for a week and a half maybe, and having to go right in and play meaningful snaps?
Quarters like 1 through 2.5, quarters 1 through 3, I think they did fine. Not great, not exceptional, not bad, fine. And that's kind of all we've ever really asked for. Mm-hmm. The Browns got creative and said, we're just going to pick on Fairchild with Myles Garrett and loop him however we need to for those like 3 or 4 straight plays. And it got nasty really fast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought overall they were okay. It's hard to give an overall grade when it was so bad, so late, so frequent. But for the most part, through the first like 65% of the game, they were what I would kind of hope they turned out to be. I think they've got a chance to do well. I think they've got a chance to gel as time goes on. Like with anything, it's going to be injury luck.
Yeah.
Regarding Reisner, I don't know if I anticipated him playing great. I didn't anticipate him playing piss poor either.
I didn't anticipate him playing at all, to be honest.
I do think guard is one of those positions that you can come in on a little bit of short notice because you've got help on your left and your right. You've got the center calling out protections. The quarterback can come up and say something to you, tap you on the ass, whatever you need to do. At the end of the day, and I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but when I coached, we had like 5 or 6 different base pass protections. So, when you've got a guy like that come in, you're probably not going to run one of the deep play action pulling pass protections. It'll be, quick game, pass game, slide left, slide right, whatever we need to do to kind of piecemeal it together, whatever he's comfortable with. Or if there's something a little bit more lucrative, you've got Ted and you've got Mims and you've got Burrow all within 3 feet of him that can say, hey, 1, 2, 3, XYZ.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll get those comments here. I was reading these two while you're talking, so I was halfway paying attention. But Dustin here, Burrow has a pretty nice pockets. I thought our run blocking was pretty good, but yeah, fell off in the fourth quarter. And for me, the fourth quarter, it just felt like Myles Garrett decided to be Myles Garrett. Now I know the Browns did some creative stuff with him, but there was one where I saw him just straight pushing Zeus back. he just pushed him back, and I'm like, that's just Myles Garrett being Myles Garrett.
It's also really hard to grade efficiency when you have a generational freak that you have to account for every play. Because how much of it is, man, you didn't quite do the right technique there, and how much of it is, it's Myles Garrett. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Like the best of the best look childish against him, and it's fine. Like it
is what it is.
Like you can sit there and be like, man, like this is awful. I can't believe they haven't fixed it. It's like, but Myles Garrett exists,
right? They held him out. They did really good for the most part throughout the whole, almost all three quarters. It was the fourth quarter when it counts. That's when they had a harder time. But for the 3 of the 4 quarters, we didn't hear from them.
Yeah, no, they It's also hard to hear from when you're going 3 and out the whole time. You know,
exactly. Like
he didn't have many plays out. Like he only had 25 pass rushing snaps.
Really?
Normally he's going to get 40, 45.
Wow.
So it's like, he had 2 sacks. Could have been worse. I'm like, he did it on 20 snaps though. Like,
Balanced Bike Life here says Fairchild versus Kappa. Dalton after 11 days versus Volson. I would say it's a wash right now.
Fairchild's significantly better than anybody.
Yeah,
else.
like, and it's you're comparing these guys after a whole season. It's one freaking game. You can't sit there and say it's a wash. Like not after one game. I mean, come on.
Fairchild is significantly better than anybody on that list. He had his rookie debut against Myles Garrett being stunted inside.
Right.
Unfortunately, this is the NFL, and every week he's going to have something being thrown at him. He's only going to get better. Yeah. He will be fine. There's been a lot of guys that the Bengals have drafted over the last 5 years where I'm like, he was one that I'm sure it's out there somewhere because Game On put it out there when we drafted him. We're at the draft party. I put both fists in the air and screamed, "We got a guard." He was my favorite pick of the draft. So I'm a little bit of a homer.
I think I left the draft party by then. I had to go to work.
Let's see. Not saying he won't be better. I mean, right now, balancing Bike Life.
Oh, there it is.
Well, I mean, the right now is one game. One game against Myles Garrett. It's hard to tell.
It's one game against Myles Garrett, and they gave up 2 sacks.
I'll
take it.
If you want to include preseason, I think he was the highest graded offensive lineman of all rookies in preseason, so he's already significantly better.
Right.
If we're taking the last 4 weeks in a whole, I mean, he's not stiff like Volson. He can move better than Volson. He's not on one leg like Kappa, and Dalton Reisner's been here for all of like 9 days. So I don't really have anything I can say there.
Mean, the most impressive thing for me about Fairchild was that MMA video we saw this summer, watching him move and his feet and how big and quick he was. That fired me the F up. I'm like, dude, he can move. Oh my God. To move like that for an offensive lineman is freaking awesome, I think.
Yeah, he's fleet of foot.
Dustin, Centaury mentioned missing meat off the bone on the offense. Did you notice guys getting open and Burrow just didn't see it?
Who wants me to hurt feelings?
Go ahead, hurt feelings.
Yes, Burrow missed several wide open guys. And unfortunately, this is something we've seen with him through the first 2 to 3 weeks of the year for the last half a decade.
He does.
Which is why I'm also not concerned because he'll play like an MVP come week 5. But yeah, there were
or next week like he did in week 2.
But and not to like belittle Burrow. I think it's like the 4th play of the game for the Browns. Flacco missed somebody wide open down the seam. Like no one was within 20 yards of the guy. I clipped that up and I sent it to Bengals and Bourbon. I went, oh no, like whoops. But yeah, there's There were a few.
It's
for
week
sure.
one. They're going to miss stuff.
Specifically, one that comes to mind is there was a slant that Burrow tried to force to Gesicki in the red zone where it was a really tight window. Don't go back and watch that one if you don't want to see it. But Jamar Chase was running a drag route by himself with no one around him. He would have caught it, turned upfield, and there would have a chance.
And a moonwalk in.
Yeah. So it's he missed some guys for sure. You don't like hearing that, but it's the truth.
I mean, like I said, it's week one. They're going, and the thing is, like, I do think that NFL is sloppier. They start slower now than they ever have before because of the way they don't do 2-a-days. They don't really hit in training camp. They don't really do that stuff anymore. So across the board, they start slower. They miss stuff. I mean, it's just
a lot of teams do in one
yeah,
way or the
everyone.
other. I mean, unless you're the Packers who came out and looked like absolute world beaters. I mean, Buffalo is God's begotten son this offseason, and they just gave up 40 points. Baltimore, I heard the entire night how amazing their defense is, gave up 41 points, and quite frankly, gave up 25 of it before they got completely embarrassed.
Their secondary is a little shaky.
It's awful. They can't cover with a damn.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I got a sweep in Baltimore. So
I mean, the Broncos, who their offense was amazing last year. Bo Nix turned the ball over like 4 times.
Right.
It's week one. You can't put any kind of anything into week one. It is what it is. I mean, the Steelers, who traditionally have a good defense, just gave up 30 points to Justin Fields.
I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up because I try not to pay attention to national media, but they're like, "Oh my goodness, Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns."
The only team that looked normal was the Browns.
Yeah. I mean, great. He did. They gave him 40 freaking points to the Jets and Justin Fields, and it was going to be this vaunted defense. I'm like, I don't believe in their defense. Their defense is old and slow. I don't think their defense is going to be that good. I've said that. They traded away the best defensive player and Parsons. So I mean, yeah, you don't agree or what?
I think the Steelers have a chance of having a good defense. I really do.
Wow.
I think it's strictly going to come down from their pass rush in that linebacker room. The interior has some talent. I mean, you've got Cam Hayward. You know, we'll see what happens. I know he got hurt, but
I guess his holding didn't end. I guess he ended his holding. I never even heard
he got an extension. He got a Trey contract. He got more money in 1 year.
Okay.
But I mean, Watt's still Watt. Highsmith's still good. They've got a good linebacking core. I don't trust their secondary.
What I'm at, yeah.
But at the end of the day, your pass rush gets your secondary better. So I think the Steelers might be a little better than people think.
I mean, I'll put it this way. I'm not sitting there saying they're going to be crap. I just get tired of hearing, "Oh my God, the Steelers are look so great." I'm like, did you watch the actual game? Their defense looked
Rodgers looked great. That was about it.
Good, yeah. But their defense looked awful. And I just kept hearing all this stuff like, "Oh, they're going to be a playoff team." I'm like, what the hell did you watch? But again, it's week one, so we'll see what happens. Tony Blaze here before we get the heck out of here. I hear rumors that Pittsburgh is trying to trade for Tyreek Hill.
Why not? I mean, every time they get a receiver, they're a freaking lunatic.
Yeah. he would fit right in.
I mean, you just got rid of the problem. Let's bring in another one.
Right, exactly. I haven't heard that. We'll have to wait and see. Centaury, you've been on for 53 minutes. I appreciate it. Hey, plug some stuff and any final words of wisdom.
My final word of wisdom is that I found the safety and he was on Carolina. So I was remembering Carolina's tape. But Carolina, their number 7, Trevor Mooring, whatever his name is, takes number 3 in man. Because it was the Carolina.
Well, when we put Carolina, we're going to put Jamar Chase on.
Whenever that happens, Carolina, Jamar's in the slot. But Jacksonville does run the similar defense to us. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm over at Rally Around the Natty. Dad and I are back during football season. We have not been consistent over the last year plus at all. I've got different things going on at work that I'm trying to accomplish. Ashley and I moved. She's getting a different job. I'm trying for a different job. So it's been a little on the Rally Around the Natty front.
That's why he hasn't been on my show very often either.
Oh, it's been awful.
I have a hard time getting him on.
Well, Jeff, my schedule got changed today. They handed me a note that said you're off at 5 on Wednesday. And I went, oh, Well, I guess I can go on Jeff's show.
Works out for me.
That'll work now. But no, we're going to be Thursdays at 7 for the foreseeable future. That's still my off day. I've got Wednesdays with my family now, and
he might come on my show on Wednesdays.
Might be able to come on here on Wednesdays.
If it's Wednesdays, we can get back to doing the film study we did.
I don't know where my drawing doodad thing is. I mean, I got a billion cut-ups on Twitter. I mean, I guess we could pull up my Twitter and just scrub back and forth. Like, here, watch him. Now watch this hip. Watch this foot. Look at this guy. He's a jackass. I mean, we could do that.
Look at that number 7.
Yeah. Sorry, Carolina.
Exactly. All right, Centaury, I appreciate you, man. I'll try to do it again next Wednesday. We'll see if you're available.
Yeah, 100%.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
brother.
Jeff.
Who day? All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Go check out Centaury on Twitter, Rally Around the Natty, and everything else he's got going on. He's a great follow, and he kind of knows what he's talking about. So, and you guys go watch him and Greg on the back and forth on Twitter because it's funny. Anyway, let's get to this.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping requires. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. Their website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House. Hey guys, what's going on? We're back at it for year 2 of our tailgates at the Moorline Lager House. This year, Best Day Brewing Game Day Experience. We're there 3 hours before every single Bengals home game. We got a DJ there. We got a buffet. We got a Bloody Mary bar. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join us. We're going to be giving prizes. I'll be hosting. I'm telling you, it's the best deal on the bank. $50. All inclusive. Food, drink, Bloody Marys. I'm going to be giving away prizes. Bengals trivia. We have music there. That's not good enough? Well, guess what? Your boys got you. I'm going to take care of you. All right. Use this code, GameDay10, GAMEDAY 10, to get $10 off your ticket. So it went from $50 to $40. Come on. You can't beat it. It's the best deal on the banks. Join me. Wear orange. We're going to root the Bengals on to the Super Bowl. Get there early. Moorline Lager House. Best Day Brewing Game Day Experience.
So, if you guys want to get reservations, go to the Moorline Lager House webpage or Facebook page. It's also at the top of my Facebook page as well. And use that code GameDay10. Like I said, get you $10 off to get in. So it goes from $50 to $40. I tell you, it's the best deal on the banks. I mean, I highly recommend it. But anyway, thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You can follow me on all those along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. I will be pulling a sound off later on tonight, put it on the podcast. Check it out. Please listen to it. It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Once you listen to it, do me a favor. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Leave a 5-star review and a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Game On should be on tomorrow. I got to double check with him. We're getting closer and closer to the Bengals taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I love it. Hey, real quick about the Reds. The 3 games out. I know people kind of stopped paying attention. I kind of stopped paying attention, but 3 games out. They got to jump 2 teams. We'll see what happens. Other than that, remember this. Remember one thing and one thing only, and that is Who Day for life. And throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.